It's Sunday the 1st of September 2019. I'm going to give you a technical analysis breakdown of some UK and US stocks. Let's get straight into it. Hi guys, it's Annie, aka the Noctrader, your friendly neighborhood swing trader, back again with another video. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that alert button to get alerts on all my latest videos. I've got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Noctrader on all social media platforms. And if you check that description section below, you see a link to my mailing list. Join my mailing list if you want to get priority access to my free training course that will come out once I hit 1,000 subscribers, and my free website will come out at the same time. And also, if you check the description section below, you see a link to my chat room called Pip Talk. So that chat room is for any traders or investors at any level to just discuss trading and investing with other like-minded people in the community. So just check the description section below again for that link to my mailing list and to my Discord group. Let's get straight into it. Okay, let me adjust this mic. So I got a couple stocks that I'm going to give you a technical analysis breakdown of. Starting with some UK stocks. Let's start with ANTO, which is Antofagasta, whatever that is. Alright, so as you can see here, it's a wedge formation is forming, and there's been a great spike in the last couple of days. Actually, before I get into that, there's been a lot of stocks have been climbing recently, and so now it looks like the market's been rallying a little bit. So even though I have a short bias in the long term, for the most part, all the stocks are rising. Even the major indices have been rising for the last couple of days. So it just seems like there's been a concerted effort, a bullish run forming. So I have to take advantage of this because you don't want to be trading against the flow of traffic. So that's why you might be seeing me endorsing a lot of long positions in this technical analysis report. Not that I'm going against what I said, but when the information gives you when charts give you new information, you change your strategy accordingly. So right now I'm seeing a lot of long positions, and all the major indices are rising. So by prerequisite of that, I should be just going for long positions. So that's why I've been looking at long positions. So ANTO here is a wedge formation forming. Hit support, hits resistance, hit support, resistance, and now it started climbing. Right now it's kind of intersected with a 180 simple moving average, and it's climbed quite a lot. So what I would expect to happen right now is either price to consolidate sideways for maybe 2-3 days, or price to reverse and sit above the 15-day exponential moving average. So what I'd like to see is something like what it did here, where price just kind of went sideways and the 15-day exponential moving average on the 4-hour chart caught up with price and then treated it as a bed. At that point, I'd say this would be a good entry point for a long position. If it breaks below the 15-day exponential moving average on the 4-hour chart and doesn't break above it again, then that would let me know that it's a false breakout, and this won't be, and you wouldn't want to take a long position. So right now it looks good, but it's kind of overextended, so you'd expect it either a little bit of a pullback or sideways motion, and you could revisit it once the 15-day exponential moving average kind of showed what price action was actually doing. So whether it was a false breakout or if it was acting as a support, in that case you'd go long. So as it stands, ANTO looks like a long for me, but you have to wait and see to see if it's a long. But as it stands, I'd say it's a long, but you just have to just kind of wait to ensure that it is a long and it's not a false breakout, if that makes sense. Next one is ASOS, popular retail, online retail in the UK. I identified this previously, and I said this line was an important line. Actually, let me go to the daily chart first. Let me go to the weekly. Weekly chart shows that price has returned to the old support. So this is a previous support. It was at this support line around December time, and then it made its way back up to about 40 pounds. Sold off again, and it's double bottom, so it looks like it could be making a second climb. Now on the daily chart, everything looks like it's in the right position for it to make a bullish run. It's hit the support, gone up, come back down to support, and then it's like it's curving up price. The MACD RSI not really giving us anything conclusive, so you can just ignore that right now. And even though the 180-day simple moving average is curving down, it looks like it's flatlining. So it looks like it's gonna kind of give us a little bit more of a flat position. So on the 4-hour chart, once again, it's making high highs, but what I want to see is really for it to kind of come back down here and then climb some more. It's already started doing that, and it's done it twice before, but I'd just like to see it do it again. Once it kind of makes this move where it would come here, sell off a little bit, then climb up. This looks like it could be a bullish move. So, and the risk to reward is pretty good. So if you enter the position as where it is right now, you could potentially be risking about, let's say 200 pips for the potential to make up to maybe 1,000 pips if it returns back to about $33 to £34, because it's a UK stock, not dollars, pounds. So that's what's that? That's like 4 to 1, 5 to 1 ratio, which is really good. So it looks like a long for me right now. ASOS. Next one is SPX. Another UK stock that's doing pretty well. Now all we have to go off right now, this is the only lines I've really plotted, but all we have to go off right now, if you just look at price action alone, the 180-day simple moving average on the daily chart has been rising and is acting as a support. There's this line that I drew here where it's a previous kind of let me move this, previous resistance here. Oh no. Struggling to. Yeah, there we go. Previous resistance here, and now support here, kind of. Something like that. And it's double bottomed at this support line. So right now it's showing me a little bit of confluence. Previous resistance, new support, double bottomed, and it looks like it's climbing. And you know, a double bottom normally leads to a rise in price. The 180-day simple moving average is below price on rising, and MACD looks like it's climbing. RSI looks like it's climbing. This looks like a great position to take a long. There's a lot of confluence, as I said before. Price is oversold on the daily, on the RSI is oversold. Sorry, on the daily chart, the MACD line's was below the RSI, RSI line, signal line. No, tongue twisters. The MACD line was below the signal line, and it looks like it's about to cross over. So this looks like a great opportunity to go long right here, right now. So SPX, this is actually one of my favorite ones so far out of the ones I've just picked. Now, risk to reward looks really favorable. 300. Let's say you're risking 400. Let's get a round number, and the potential, even if it's just going to go to where it was before and it doesn't climb any higher. That's quite audacious. Let's say you want to go halfway, so you want 1,000 pips. 1,000 risking 400, so that's about, what's it, 2.5 to 1. So which is it's a good risk to reward ratio. Next one for me is the RMV, sorry, which is Rightmove. Rightmove is a company that it's an estate agent company. And also, yeah, so for people that are trying to buy homes, you can check on their website and you can list your homes on their website. So it's not really the best kind of industry I really want to invest in right now, but straight off of on technicals alone, it's doing well. Now, as you can see here, it's making like a kind of ascending converging wedge. So it's hit the support line once, twice, and thrice. And it looks like it's climbing again. Once again, the 180-day simple moving average is below price and climbing. It's almost mirroring, paralleling to the line that's the support line on the daily chart. The resistance line is hit it twice, and every time it's hit it, it's sold off. Now this looks like it's making its way up back to the resistance line again. MACD, RSI, kind of plateauing, so it's not the best look because you want to see the MACD rising, but like the volume, the MACD line has kind of been flat, but it's done this before and still risen. So it shows that when it rises at a really slow pace because look, if you look from here to here, that's like take 3 months to go 100 pips. So this one, you don't expect it to shoot up straight away. You expect it to hold it for 1-2 months for a small amount of pips, but it still looks like a buy based off of the technicals. And last but not least, Tesco. This one I posted on my Instagram. No, not my Instagram, on my Twitter. So if you guys follow me on Twitter at the Noctrader, you would have seen that I posted this chart a couple of days ago. Quite interesting chart for Tesco. If you just look at price action alone, it's been an ascending wedge. It hasn't stayed hold true to it all the time. Sometimes it's gone a little bit higher, as you can see, or maybe the lines that I'm picking up, like the best lines. If you want something like, I don't know, let's look at it again. I'll configure this, make it a little dotted line. Anyway, just looking at semantics, so let's get back to the charts. On the daily chart, it's been an ascending wedge. So it's been ebbing and flowing, dating back to about beginning of 2016, ebbing and flowing. Broke out, little false breakout, but then sold back and came back to this channel pattern. Now, right here, I found that there was a line here that was of significance, because it's hit it as it was a resistance here, and now it's a support here. Price seems to be climbing, but I'm a bit weary of going long on something like Tesco, just because it hasn't made its way down all the way to the support line, and from previous motion it's shown that it's been ebbing and flowing between the support and resistance line. So it wouldn't make sense for price to kind of start climbing now all the way to the resistance line when it hasn't hit the support line. But if you look just on price alone, it's triple bottomed on this new line that I drew, and price seems to be making its way up, but it's something I'm just looking at right now. I haven't really made the decision one way or another what needs to be done, but it looks like it could potentially be a long, but I'm trying to wait and see for this one. But I just kind of pointed this out because it's quite interesting, the patterns that were being formed on Tesco, especially with this new line that I've drawn. I want to see what significance it has. Is price gonna start climbing, or is it gonna sell off some more and then stay true to this support line and just kind of ricochet off of it until it hits the major ascending channel support line? So there's lots of different ways to view this, but this is just one for the watch list. It's just more something I just want to point out to you guys. Now off to the US stocks. First one is Tesla. Tesla. I said this earlier that Tesla looked like a long, and it's doing what I expected it to do. Said it on the previous video. Yeah, so the MACD, this was primarily because of the MACD. The shape of the MACD was telling me that it wanted to kind of upturn, and this is a perfect condition for a long. MACD has kind of been flirting with crossing over several times, but never actually did it, and now it's finally crossed over the signal line, and looks like it's going to cross over at a steep gradient on the daily. It's already showed signs. Price has already shown signs. Started making a bullish run. I can see price going all the way back up to at least 260, and if not even breaking past it, which would be great. So this is a great long position to take. If I was to take it, I'd say you could set the resistance at about 210 pounds or dollars, sorry, and that would be a 2,000 pip. 2,000 pips you will be risking for a potential 2,000 pips, so that's a 1-to-1. Not the greatest, but in reality I believe it's going to break out of this 260. I don't think it's going to go to it and just ricochet off it. I think this time it's going to climb past it, and then so the potential for profits could be way more than that. The next one is Hertz. So Hertz. Where's Hertz? Hertz is here. Another one. This one I wasn't really comfortable trading last time I spoke about it, which was like last week I think, because it just kept bouncing off of this line and price looked like it was going to sell off, to be honest. But since the market conditions have changed, and as you can see, there's been a lot of bullish runs going on, and the market seems to be recovering as a whole. I revisited. I think this potentially could be a long position now. Yeah, it could potentially be a long position now. As you can see here, there's a lot of complex patterns in Hertz, but there's still a lot of profit potentially that could be made. Here you can see that this line that goes down has been an important line, as it's been a previous resistance and now a support 3 times in a row. What I like to see off the 4-hour chart is kind of what it's doing now actually. Price breaking off above the 15-day exponential moving average, consolidating above it. Now what I'd like to see is it to climb some more, so that this 15-day exponential moving average would act as a support on the 4-hour chart. If it does that, if it carries on climbing up, reverses for a little bit, and then climbs up again, so it's making high highs, then I would be comfortable saying, okay, we're in a bullish run on Hertz, and then you could enter a buy position. But right now I'm just watching out. I just need it to climb on Monday's open, and then I could say, okay, yeah, we're in a buy position right now. Next one is Momo. Momo, I've been following this for some time, if you've seen from my other videos, and I think kind of we haven't missed the move. But it's kind of climbed. It's been climbing for like 3 days, and it's made big moves. What is that? So it's been climbing, and it's made some big moves. And I believe this is just the beginning. It's going to continue climbing. It's actually made a breakout. This chart has been very interesting to me, because I knew there was going to be a breakout coming at some point, but I wasn't sure which way it was going to be, whether it was going to be to the downside or to the upside, as Momo has been just ricocheting from support to resistance several times. The tail sign should have been where it sold off, but it didn't make its way all the way down to the support line. It just kind of sold off to about here and then climbed. But now that there's been a breakout, we want to just a potential long position can be taken now. Hopefully this ain't a false breakout, but once again, because of the condition of the market right now, there's a lot of bullish runs going on in the market as a whole, so it's not far-fetched to think that this is going to continue rising. The way I'd play this, if I was to enter the position right now, would be, let me delete this first. The way I'd play this would be straight up, just enter a long position here, and then set my stop loss just at this support line. So you risk 100 pips, 174 pips, and the real not issue, but the real thing that you need to think about is where your exit point will be, because you kind of don't really know where you want to exit. What I would do is that I would just look at it on the daily chart and just let price keep rising, and exit when you think the MACD is starting to plateau or the RSI is starting to plateau. This could be a little bit of like a indicator for you as to when to sell your position, or even just raise the stop loss to a point where if it hits it, then you're fine. But if you raise the just raise the stop loss past your entry point, so that you're in green territory the whole way. So yeah, I think Momo is along, and yeah, that's it. Last but not least is GUSH. GUSH, as we all know, is the oil and gas ETF. Now GUSH and DRIP are inversely correlated to each other, as I've said here in my notes. The main thing is that GUSH is the bull ETF and DRIP is the bear ETF. So when oil is going up, GUSH is going up. And I believe oil is going to start climbing again tomorrow, which means GUSH will make its way up. As you can see here, it's been on a descending wedge pattern, and I've made some money off of this, just kind of capitalizing off the ebbs and flows here on the 1 hour chart, and I think there's more money to be made as well. Again, if you look at the 1 hour chart again, price has kind of found a support line here, so it's kind of, the way I see it is price is curving. So this is how I look at it. I feel like it's kind of curving up. So it's not going to curve up. It's not going to just climb in one big swift move. It's going to ebb and flow. So it's going up, down, and that's going up, and then now it's making high highs. And so I believe at this point now, tomorrow, it's going to start climbing again. It'll climb, and then it'll sell off again, and then the next low will be higher than the previous low. So it'll start climbing until it breaks out. That's my That's how I speculate that this ETF is going to move. And on the MACD looks like it's kind of saying the same thing. I believe it's going to cross over again. So what I'd be waiting for is I'm going to set an alert on the MACD crossover. So that's what I'm going to do. So what I'll do is that when the MACD line crosses over the signal line, that's when I think I'll take a long on this on the 1 hour chart. So I think that a long position could be taken there, and then you can just make a quick profit. You don't want to be holding this for too long, because the ETFs are very temperamental in their emotion. As you can see here, there's big spikes and big losses. So I'd say upon market entry, 2 o'clock, I reckon it will just spike up anyway. So I don't think I'll miss a little bit of the profits, but I think there'll still be some profits to be made off of just like a short move once price goes up. And then I'd probably say exit when the MACD line kind of looks like it's plateauing, as you can see here. So that's how I'd say play this one, and you can just wait for it to come sell off again, and then you can do it again once it's climbed up. So you can just keep doing it, as you can see, ebbing and flowing. That's how I would play it personally. So yeah, it's Any, aka the Noctrader, signing out.